Hello, my beautiful Pisces friends, and welcome to your horoscope for August of 2023. We're Pisces. We have got 3 moons happening this month, 2 fulls, a new, I feel like I'm putting out a burger order right now. 3 full moons, 1 new moon, but that's what we've got going on. We've got 3 full moons, we've got 2 full moons, 1 new moon. Mercury going retrograde, Uranus going retrograde, Venus is retrograde, and we've got a lot of retrograde planets in the sky. So the energy is very still. It's an opportunity to know that we've got illumination and changes coming based on things that have likely been on your table for some time. Now, the last moon that we're going to have this month is actually going to be in your sign. So I'm really interested to see where you're having a little bit of a come down, in the way where you're going to put your feet solidly on the earth and put your hands on your heart and see how you're living, who you are, what you're doing, where you're taking yourself, and who's in your space is really also in alignment with how you are moving spiritually, right? So it's this really inside outside. It's a little bit of a reality check. I like it. I think it's going to be good for us. And it doesn't mean that it is all going to feel the best. And sometimes we get moons like that, but I think we can still work with that bad boy. All right, Pisces, let's get in here and see what's going on this month. Right at the beginning of the month on the 1st, we've got our first full moon happening at 9 degrees of Aquarius. So this is going to light up your 12th house space. Now, this moon is also in a square to Jupiter, one of your ruling planets. So, in the 12th house for you, Pisces, really, there is this need to end, acknowledge, or adjust, surrender to. Don't fight against it. Surrender to new realizations, new informations, what has been revealed to you over the 4-week period between this moon and getting to the final full moon. What is revealed to you in your 12th house space? This is the place of our own undoing, actions, attitudes, behaviors that we have that are our own undoing. We have to tend to them. But also, the other things I think that live in the 12th house are things that are behind the scenes. There's this real conversation in this Aquarian energy where it's like, oh, now wait a minute. What am I working on behind the scenes? And maybe you're even really excited about it. You're working on it behind the scenes now so that at the end of the month, you can get prepared to launch it out and put yourself out there in a different way. Where are you coming into your own? You're this butterfly or in the chrysalis stage over the next few weeks emotionally, and then you're going to make this beautiful entrance and circumstances are going to align themselves to help you come out and unfold. Other questions I have about the 12th house are our secrets. What are the secrets you're keeping? Because the secrets that you are keeping that are not going to come out and be this awesome work thing or this awesome surprise party, but the secrets, the things that we're doing in private that are in the dark, as they come to the light, we have to be mindful that this particular moon is going to shed some light and give you a revelation on whether or not that is the right arrangement for you. And it is not about good, bad. It's simply about what's happening that you may be rationalizing that is not real if you were to bring it into the light. This is a great question. Okay, last thing I think about in this 12th house space is rest, recovery, rejuvenation, and the tending to your spiritual life. Right? What is going on here? Some of you may be spiritual teachers and you really are working on something behind the scene that you'll launch out later. Maybe you're doing a retreat, even if it's an at-home staycation kind of retreat. Maybe you're journaling more. What are you doing to make sure that emotionally you have rest and surrender so that you can clear out and know you are in alignment with your spiritual vibration? Lots to think about in that 12th house, okay? On August 3rd, we have got Mercury moving into its pre-retrograde shadow position at 8 degrees of Virgo, which is going to light up your 7th house space. And you are going to work on the relationship thing all the way until September 30th. Okay, so emotionally buckle in, and it doesn't mean it has to be terrible. It means there's some rethinking, there's going to be some reviewing, there's going to be some reflecting going on in this particular area of your chart. So start to take note as to what comes up for you as you're traveling around about August 3rd, because those are the things that you're going to work on all the way until September 30th. Okay, On the 16th, we've got a new moon happening at 23 degrees of Leo, lighting up your 6th house space. So this is the space of daily routines, what you're doing on a daily basis to care for yourself, your health, your physical wellness. Maybe you're caring for someone else. There's also this vibration of, is someone caring for something of yours? I think about, we recently moved to Spain, and before we had our house, someone was taking care of our dog, Brody, because the 6th house also has small animals. And so you could be having someone take care of something for you, or maybe you're taking care of something for them, and it's in this daily routine vibration. Either way, this particular new moon, where you're going to plant your seeds of intention to begin something new and really focus your attention on having healthy daily routines that are generous to you, that you can take pride in, that have laughter, that have a love and a big caring warmth to them and support you in a daily way. It's also going to be square to Uranus. So you may get some really surprising information, that shows you about 2 weeks after this particular lunation. It helps make a decision. It helps bring a situation to a close or push it in the direction that needs to go. And this is really your influence for, okay, I got to get a different daily routine. For some of you, it may be that you get health news that is like, yes, finally, I've been working on this. My cholesterol is down. My high blood pressure is down. What I've been doing is working. Thank goodness. You finally get the news that you've been waiting for. On the 23rd, busy day, we've got the sun entering into the energy of Virgo, and we've also got its ruling planet Mercury going retrograde in Virgo. So this is again lighting up over the next 4 weeks, your 7th house. So this is conscious, chosen one-on-one relationships. It is also, my friend, the space of open enemies. So people you have a challenge or a problem with, okay? So this is going to be your time between this 8 and 21 degrees to really be reunioning. First of all, coming back together with people, places, and things, maybe even people, places, and things from your past or past situations that now you're having to reunion with and reflect on what's been happening here, or rework an old situation or an old plan or an old contract even that you've been involved with. Remember, when Mercury is retrograde, we don't hide under a rock. We're not doing any of that, okay? But it is a time to be mindful that there can be holdups, communication, miscommunications, delays in things. So make a little bit of space. If you call somebody and you really are ready to have this conversation about your relationship, or you're ready to get the information from, the realtor about selling your house, because that's the dynamic of your relationship, and they don't call you back right away, make a little bit of space, because everybody is going to be experiencing the Mercury retrograde. So making a decision, communicating, it's all going to be a little bit slowed down because everyone's more in the review space. Unless you have Mercury retrograde in your chart, then for you, instead of running in and needing to review these decisions, you're having to take the decisions, the plans, and all of those things and bring them in a very outward kind of way, okay? On the 27th, Mars is going to enter into the energy of Libra until October, giving you a light up and a change of direction and a little pep in your step into your 8th house. Now, in the 8th house, we're doing intimacy and assets, okay? So somewhere in your money, there's a conversation, maybe there's a detox, or you're needing to withdraw, support from someone that you've been supporting in some way with that 8th house energy. Whatever it is, if there's something financial changing for you, it's connected to another resource, whether it be a partner, a bank, some resource where you're sharing money, and if one party changes direction, the other party will be affected, okay? Now we also have death, debt, taxes, detox. Mars is a phenomenal energy to help you detox what doesn't belong in your 8th house, what doesn't belong in your intimacy sector anymore, to take care of your debts, what's going on in your debt life. But also, And when we're talking about detox, Pisces, I think it's a great space to have conversations with trusted mentors about things that are maybe going on for you. Even if it's a plan and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm ready to launch this project, or I want to go in this direction, or I want to plan this party, whatever it is that's personal and deep to you. It's a great time to be speaking to a mentor or being the mentor someone can speak to about that. Because in the 8th house, we're not really talking about the surface level things. We're talking about the ways that I've hurt and the ways that I've healed, and sharing those beautiful messages. Plenty could be happening with Mars in Libra, who's all about relationships as well, in the sexual zone. So if that is something that's coming up for you in your life, one of the things to note is that Mars in Libra wants peace, right? It's not the Mars in Scorpio. It's not the Mars in Leo kind of lovemaking, okay? And that's okay too, right? But so just understand that this is looking for a little bit more balance. It's looking for a bit more peace. There's a little bit more romance that is built into this. If it's about flirting, because think about this, if you've been in a long-term relationship, when's the last time you were flirting? How's that going in your life? Things like this. This is a little bit more passive aggressive, but it'll get done. Okay. It'll get done, my friends. On the 28th, we're going to see Uranus go retrograde at 23 degrees of Taurus, moving all the way to 19 degrees of Taurus. Now this lights up your 3rd house space. So interestingly enough, if you flash back to May of this year, Pisces, I would ask you, okay, listen, what was going on for you in terms of contracts, buying, selling homes, agreements that you were making, courses that you were teaching, conversations that were happening, siblings, or things going on short distance, like, city to city in your life, because there were changes. There were probably major life changes that Uranus was bringing to the table. And now you're starting to see where those things might be actually creating a container that's not allowing you to be free, or you've got circumstances around that are not allowing you to be free, to be yourself, to move authentically, right? There's something that might be boxing you in. And as Uranus is retrograde, you're flashing back to May and going, okay, what are the circumstances that are in my life right now that I need to make a decision to have freedom, to move uniquely in my own way, to choose my autonomy on it. And by the time we see you in January, this area of your life, your 3rd house, writing that book, maybe the words are just pouring out of you. Maybe something happened where you realize you need to write a book. By the time we see you in January, I think you're having a much different experience with your own level of freedom, in whatever that means for you. Now, when we close out this month on the 30th, we've got a full moon happening at 7 degrees of Pisces. So this will light up your 1st house space. And this particular moon, like I said at the beginning of the video, is in conjunction with Saturn, or Saturn's right there hovering. And this is where it's like, okay, we have to get serious. We have to really get serious now, whether it is that it's time for you to really own your mastery. Think back to March of this year when Saturn came into the energy of Pisces, because Saturn's only covered the first 7 degrees of Pisces. So everything that's being illuminated right now is hovering around these first 7 degrees. So from March until now, what have you seen in terms of authoring your own story, owning your own expertise? Where have you seen that, maybe you were making a decision that seemed really earthly, Virgo, practical, and on your insides, it's spiritually killing you? Because there needs to be a dance in the dynamic when we're dealing with an opposition. And between Virgo and Pisces, it's where do I have a spiritual vision and can be in alignment with my spiritual insights, and also integrate that with how I live in the material world and the material plane, and how can I be open to changing and adjusting. Remember that Mercury is still retrograde, the ruling planet for you. All of your ruling planets are retrograde as well. So you might be surprised in the revelations that present itself to you to help you see what's really right for you at this particular time, Pisces. I'm really curious. Please share with me in the comment section down below, as you've listened to this reading, Where is this already starting to manifest for you, and where is it calling to the surface some things that you know you're going to be working on as you travel throughout this month? Let me know in the comment section down below. I'm sending you a ton of love, and I look forward to seeing you, beautiful Pisces, in September. Bye, friends.